But I'll let Isaiah give his thoughts first. But Isaiah Leon, my question to you: the statement, the Broncos are receiving heavy trade requests and quarterback Drew Lock. Are the
Yes.
Broncos breaking a mistake and giving up on Lock after just 21 career starts?
Well, when I look at this, you guys know how much I like Drew Lock. I think it's been
MVP in 2020. Thank you.
Yes, I picked him to win MVP in 2020. I said he was going to throw for over 4,000 plus yards, and the Broncos were going to win
50 plus TDs also.
Yes, 40 plus TDs, and also the Broncos were going to win the AFC West. So it's been well documented on this network how much I like Drew Lock. And I've also said in the past that, Drew Lock, he's not a franchise quarterback. But, after watching a lot of tape on him the last week, John, I think you might want to get ready to walk off the set, because what I'm about to say might actually get you to storm off the set. I might have to do a solo program the rest of the way. But I believe that Drew Lock has the ability to become a franchise quarterback, but he...
What? Oh my God, you had it!
What? Yes. I believe that Drew Lock has the ability to one day
get some help.
I believe that Drew Lock has the ability to one day be a franchise quarterback, but he is very raw. Drew Lock, he's got a cannon of an arm, but like I said, he needs work when it comes to, going through his reads and his progressions, and also not panicking when the pocket collapses. I think John will agree with me on that, because he's watched a lot of Broncos games, especially in the Drew Lock tenure. Drew Lock, when the pocket collapses, he always panics, and he just makes wild throws, or, tries to, be the hero and force balls to receivers that are not there, and it always gets picked. So that's the problem with Drew Lock. Drew Lock has the talent, but he's very raw, and he needs to sit on the bench and learn and develop under a offensive-minded, great quarterback whisperer type of a coach. And, as far as the question if Denver should trade him or not, I believe Denver should trade him, but it's only because I think that both sides would benefit well from a change of scenery. I think that Drew Lock would benefit greatly from a change of scenery. I really do not like the offensive system right now in Denver. Denver, they hired Pat Shurmur, who runs a really, really bland offensive scheme, and he really doesn't work well with young quarterbacks. Pat Shurmur is better with veteran quarterbacks than young quarterbacks. You look at what he did with Daniel Jones. I was not impressed with what Pat Shurmur did with Daniel Jones. That's why when Denver fired Rich Scangarello, their previous offensive coordinator, I was scratching my head. I was like, why would you do that? I get that the offense wasn't good with Joe Flacco, but you look at what Rich Scangarello did with Drew Lock. I mean, he made Drew Lock actually look good in the 5 games that Drew Lock played under Rich Scangarello. You fire Rich Scangarello and you bring in Pat Shurmur, who runs a really bland offense and is not good with young quarterbacks. And Drew Lock, he tanked last season. So I believe that Drew Lock's got the talent, but I think he would be much better with a good offensive coach, not named Pat Shurmur, coaching him. So that's why I think that, some of the places that Drew Lock should go, that I think that he would have or that would make a lot of sense for Drew Lock, is number one, I believe New Orleans. I think New Orleans would be a good fit for Drew Lock. And the reason being is that, like John said, Drew Brees retired. New Orleans, they need a future franchise quarterback. I'm not saying you start Drew Lock right now because he's really raw. I'm saying you sit him on the bench for a couple of seasons, and then, you let him learn, and you let Sean Payton, who is one of the best offensive coaches in the game of football, he's one of the best quarterback whisperers in the game of football. You let Sean Payton develop him for 2 years. You bring in like a Ryan Fitzpatrick or a Jameis Winston, a bridge quarterback to fill in for 1 or 2 seasons. And then, after 2 seasons, then you could put Drew Lock in. And I think he will be ready under the tutelage of Sean Payton. And another, destination is San Francisco. I really believe, John, this also might make you walk off the set. But I believe that if Drew Lock goes to the 49ers, I really believe that Drew Lock is going to have lots of success with the 49ers. And the reason being is because, like I said, Kyle Shanahan is one of the best offensive minds in the NFL.
Get some help.
Kyle Shanahan is one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. He is a quarterback guru. This guy has worked with a ton of quarterbacks. He's made a lot of quarterbacks look good than they really are. I mean, look at Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub had his best seasons under Kyle Shanahan. And then RG3 had his best season under Kyle Shanahan. What did RG3 do after Kyle Shanahan? I get the fact that he had that injury, but he was never the same without Kyle Shanahan. Matt Ryan, same thing. Matt Ryan had his best season under Kyle Shanahan. So I do believe that Shanahan could make Drew Lock work. Lock is the type of quarterback that I think Shanahan is looking for. Pocket passer that has a strong arm that can throw the ball 40 yards down the field. I think that if you put Drew Lock with the 49ers, he could be the backup for a couple of seasons, learn and develop under Kyle Shanahan, and then you put him in. I think he would have success. And the last place that, this might also be crazy, but Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is another good place for Drew Lock. And the reason being, I know John is looking at me like, what did I just say? But the reason why I'm saying Tampa Bay is a good fit is because Bruce Arians, who is another terrific offensive mastermind and quarterback guru, Bruce Arians, the offense that he runs is, no risk it, no biscuit, which means they take chances. They take shots down the field. And Bruce Arians, you can sit Drew Lock down for a couple of seasons, develop him, let Drew Lock learn under the greatest of all time. Let him learn under a budding offensive mind in Byron Leftwich, learn under Bruce Arians, and let those guys develop Drew Lock. And then after Brady retires, you can have Drew Lock step in, and Brady can hand the baton to Drew Lock, and I think Drew Lock would have success in Tampa Bay. So do I think that Denver should move on from Drew Lock? Yes, because I don't like Denver's offensive coaches, and I think that Denver should trade him to a Tampa, a New Orleans, or a San Francisco, and and those teams have him sit for 1 or 2 years and have him develop. And I think that would really be beneficial for his career.